All right, guys, hope you're doing well today. I want to do a video talking about the new 2024 Ford Expedition. Thankfully, it's finally here, a refresh that everybody's been looking forward to. Today, I want to kind of go over my thoughts of the exterior looks, what we can look at from the pictures from the suspension, what we can also look at with their current powertrains with F-150, which is typically shared with the Expedition, and the competitor, the big rivals, the Tahoe Suburbans and the Sequoias. So let's do this. So here's one of the big reasons why Ford needs a refresh. It's been 6 years from the 2018 to 2024. Not much has changed. A slight upgrade in the fascia and interior in 2022. It's been a good vehicle. I mean, they brought a lot of solid technology to the market, but it's due for a refresh. I think everybody agrees with that. And the Tahoe and Suburban, they look great, especially for 2025. This thing's getting a huge upgrade. I think the new front end looks good. I've been a big fan of once they went with this new Z71. I think it's a really tough looking setup. But this is definitely going to put Ford on its toes. Thankfully for Ford, I still think they're going to have a pretty easy position to win with Powertrain because GM's lagging pretty far behind with their 5.3 and their 6.2. Once they get their refreshed engines, I think it'll change. But I've driven these and they're really beautiful interiors. I'm just not a real fan of their powertrains. And typically GM's always been known for really reliable valve train and engines, but that's an area where they've really been struggling the past few years. So it's really great to see that they will be updating. So it's been anticipated. Obviously, this is going to be a refresh for 2025 in the Expedition, but what's going to change? These have been the photos that have been circulating for quite some time, and if you look down the body lines, you're like, well, the front bumper kind of looks the same, running boards look similar, door handles in similar location, your A, B, C pillars, roof line, everything looks pretty similar. What is changing? And you look at all these photos, and you're like, well, you kind of see a different front fascia. Can't see anything else in the sideline. And then you look at the back and you're like, well, something's definitely changing there. You can see the taillight shape is a little different. The rear fascia down below is a little different. But then these photos dropped yesterday. Boom, there it is. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I care for it. Maybe it'll grow on me, but this just looks goofy. I don't know. It's like you can tell that they're using the 24 F-150 kind of contoured LED lights. But I don't know, maybe it'll look better when all the camo's off the front of the vehicle, but it just looks a little bit goofy to me. What I do sort of like is this thickens up a little bit right here in the fascia. You can see a lot of the commonality of the current Expedition. If I had to guess looking at this, there's not a big change that's taking place. Maybe just the hood, front fenders, and the rear decklet area, but the side profile looks identical to our 2018 Expedition that we had. And there's no mention in this article of powertrain. Moto 1 has some great photos if you want to check them out online. I'll keep a link down below, but you can see the rear fascia, and this reminds me almost immediately of the Suburban and the Yukons. If you look at their taillights, let's see if I can find this photo. Let's look at a 2024 Tahoe RST. Look at the shape of these taillights. And the location, look how it's not centered. It's up really high. Man, that literally looks almost identical to the Tahoe. It's in the same, it touches the glass. It's kind of goofy. I don't know what they're doing there. Even this fascia down below, it's contoured, the light placement, everything is identical. Even this cutout to the Expedition. So I'm not sure what Ford's cooking there. I don't know if they're trying to mimic the Tahoe looks, make it look bigger by raising the taillights up. But maybe this will grow on me. So far, I could say I don't know what I think about this. The other thing I was kind of looking at is look at the shape of these radius arms and the exhaust. There's a better photo here. If I had to look at these photos and make a guess, I would say this powertrain, I would say this suspension and exhaust looks to be carryover. I don't see anything looks different. The shape, the lower control arms, nothing looks different than the current Expedition. So that's kind of a bummer. Maybe they'll make some improvements in the powertrain or in the interior. But this is so this right here, in my opinion, is the big reason for the upgrade. If we go to fueleconomy.gov, I always like pulling up these comparisons, and you can do this with any vehicle. And if you kind of look at a 24 Expedition, it's actually pretty good for fuel economy when you compare it against the Tahoe and the Sequoia. It actually gets better fuel economy than the Tahoe in the city and the highway. And it's almost the same fuel economy on the highway as the new Sequoia hybrid. So these are its two big competitors. You can see the Sequoia combined fuel economy is 2 miles per gallon better than the Expedition. And you can see over 5 years, you'd save $1,500 in fuel with the Toyota. But here's the real easy solution. And I bet you this is what Ford does. Just a pure guess, but I'm thinking about this logically. I bet you the new Expedition will be hybrid only. And not a plug-in, but I bet you it'll be just the same power boost powertrain that Ford has had in the F-150 for 3 years as an option. If they do that, look at the fuel economy. You'd pick up 5 miles per gallon potentially in your combined, 2 on the highway, but this is the big hitter, city. It'd be a 6 mile per gallon improvement. So if they go with this, this would be, from a fuel economy standpoint, would be a huge home run. And I've driven a bunch of the power boosts, and I know everybody's got different opinions on them. I actually like them. I think the way the hybrid system works, it's so seamless. I've been very impressed with the smoothness. The fuel economy is pretty decent. I've pretty much got what the window stickers have said, or really close. But there's a lot of cool features with the hybrid system, especially if you live in the city or you're rural driving. You'll get incredible fuel economy. If you do a lot of highway driving, though, as you see, there's not a big improvement. It's really focused towards city driving. And for towing, from what I've seen, you don't really get any gains in fuel economy with towing. But if you look over 5 years, if they go with that, if that assumption's correct, you'd save about $3,000 in fuel. So that's kind of interesting. We're gonna have to wait a few months for this to play out and show up. But my guess is this is what we will see as far as a powertrain in the new Expedition and the new Navigator. And the other thing that's interesting is, what is Chevrolet gonna do? We know they got to come up with a new powertrain because this 5.3 has been around for, what, 20-something years, 25 years, 26 years. And the power goes up a little bit, but it's not enough to really compete towing or fuel economy or just performance of the EcoBoosts. And the Toyota now went that way too. They got rid of their V8 and went to the 6-cylinder turbo. So I like the sound of the V8, but man, the performance of these twin turbo 6 cylinders is really hard to beat. And the Hurricane that's in the new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer is phenomenal. I've been really impressed with the power of those as well. So it's exciting for people that are Ford full-size SUV owners and are looking for an upgrade. Looks like the new Expedition's around the corner. And for people that are looking for a bargain, I bet you there's going to be some great deals on leftover 24 Expeditions. If you're looking to get into a lease or something like that, it might make sense for you to get into one of those if you can take advantage of a good lease deal. So as I've said in other videos, this is going to be a really weird year in automotive. I've seen more inventory of Ford Super Duties on dealership lots than I have seen in 15 years. I've never seen the amount of Super Duties out. And that was a refresh truck a year ago. I'm seeing Raptors all over dealer lots. There's a lot of inventory. You can tell, I don't know if it's the economy is slowing down or things are shifting, but there's clearly a change happening. But as more information comes on this new Expedition, I'll be making new content. But this is something exciting for people that are Expedition owners and are looking forward to the next full size. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.